Imagine if every thought you have shapes the way you see the world and even determines what you attract into your life. The truth is, your mind finds what you feed it. When you nourish it with positivity, focus, and purpose, you create a mindset that empowers you. But if you feed it with negativity, fear, or doubt, that's exactly what you'll encounter everywhere you go. As Buddha said, the mind is everything. What you think, you become. In this video, we'll explore 7 powerful lessons to help you consciously feed your mind for a life filled with peace, growth, and fulfillment. Lesson 1. Thoughts are the seeds of reality. In Buddhism, the power of thought is a central teaching. Our thoughts shape our actions, influence our speech, and direct our intentions. Consider the analogy of a garden. If we plant seeds of compassion, patience, and understanding, our lives will bear the fruits of these qualities. But if we plant seeds of anger, envy, and greed, then suffering, anxiety, and restlessness will sprout. In Buddhist practice, this understanding is why meditation and mindfulness are so crucial. By observing our thoughts without attachment, we can identify which seeds we're planting and make conscious choices to shift our thinking toward kindness, gratitude, and resilience. Each thought we allow to take root is a building block for the world we experience. This is why the Buddha stressed the importance of right thought as part of the Noble Eightfold Path. Feed your mind with positive, uplifting thoughts, and you'll find your inner and outer worlds transformed. 2. Choose your inputs carefully. The mind absorbs what it is surrounded by. This lesson relates to the Buddhist practice of guarding the sense doors, where we're mindful of what we allow into our consciousness through our senses, what we see, hear, read, and even the conversations we engage in. If we constantly expose ourselves to negative news, toxic conversations, or environments filled with gossip and drama, our minds become cluttered and distressed. Choose inputs that nourish the mind and lead it toward peace. For example, if we fill our environment with teachings of the Dharma, supportive friends, and positive influences, we're nourishing our inner landscape with calm and understanding. Take a moment each day to reflect on what you are allowing into your mind. Perhaps listen to a guided meditation, read a passage from a Buddhist text, or spend time in nature. These simple shifts can help you build a mental space of peace and clarity, reflecting what you intentionally allow into it. 3. Turn off autopilot. Thinking in Buddhism, mindless reactivity is seen as one of the greatest obstacles to inner peace. Many of us go through life on autopilot, reacting to situations and people without full awareness. This reactivity often stems from habitual thought patterns, sometimes shaped by past traumas, fears, or social conditioning that dictate how we respond to the world. By constantly feeding these autopilot responses, we lose control over our mind's direction. Through mindfulness, we can become more aware of these automatic patterns. When you find yourself reacting, pause and observe the thought behind the reaction. Is it anger, fear, jealousy? Acknowledge it without judgment, and then consciously choose a new way to respond. Each time you interrupt autopilot thinking, you reclaim a bit of control over your mind. Over time, you'll find it easier to respond from a place of peace and compassion rather than from ingrained habits, allowing your mind to reflect clarity rather than chaos. 4. Reframe challenges as opportunities. Buddhism teaches that suffering is an inevitable part of life, but it also teaches that suffering can be a profound teacher. When faced with challenges, we often instinctively resist, trying to avoid discomfort at all costs. However, these moments of difficulty often carry essential lessons about patience, resilience, and letting go. Consider how Buddhist monks embrace discomfort and challenge as ways to train the mind. A challenging experience becomes an opportunity to cultivate inner strength and learn non-attachment. By reframing suffering in this way, we free ourselves from the need to resist life's difficulties and instead accept them with an open heart. Each time we face a challenge, we can ask ourselves, what is this trying to teach me? Feeding your mind with this perspective not only builds resilience, but also transforms suffering into wisdom, allowing you to navigate life with greater equanimity. 5. Practice gratitude daily. In Buddhism, gratitude is more than just saying thank you or appreciating something nice. It's a powerful pathway to experiencing true joy and breaking free from endless wanting or craving. The Buddha taught that our minds are often preoccupied with desires for things we don't have. These desires keep us restless, always searching for happiness somewhere else, in something or someone. But gratitude changes that by shifting our focus from what's missing in our lives to what's already present. When we make this shift, we feel more fulfilled and content, as if our lives are already enough just as they are. Practicing gratitude can be simple and doesn't require a big effort. One effective way is to start each day by reflecting on a few things you're thankful for. It might be the warmth of sunlight in the morning, the comforting taste of a favorite drink, or a pleasant moment shared with a friend. Even small things like the feeling of a soft blanket, the peacefulness of a quiet moment, or the beauty of a flower in bloom can be part of your gratitude practice. The point is to pause and acknowledge these small blessings that often go unnoticed, shifting your mind to see what's good in your life. Every time you express gratitude, you are training your mind to notice the positive aspects of life. This mental habit is particularly powerful during tough times. When we're feeling stressed, worried, or sad, our natural tendency might be to focus on what's wrong or missing. But practicing gratitude helps us to look beyond immediate difficulties and notice that even in challenging moments, there are still good things around us. This can be as simple as feeling grateful for a supportive friend during hard times, or appreciating a moment of rest after a busy day. Gratitude can become a natural response, bringing peace and fulfillment into your everyday life. As you practice, you may notice that feelings of longing or dissatisfaction start to fade. Instead of always seeking something more or something else, you'll feel more at ease with what you already have. Your inner environment becomes calmer and more peaceful, and this sense of appreciation helps you build a life filled with more joy and contentment. 6. Visualize your goals as achieved. Visualization is a powerful tool in Buddhism, often used to cultivate qualities like compassion, patience, and mindfulness. This practice involves vividly imagining oneself embodying positive qualities or visualizing a peaceful state of mind, reinforcing these attributes in daily life. In Buddhist meditation, visualization is seen as a form of mental training, helping us become more compassionate, focused, and resilient when facing challenges. By picturing our goals and ideal qualities as though they're already part of us, we train the mind to adopt and embrace these attributes, making them more attainable. Imagine you want to become more patient or compassionate, for example. Instead of simply hoping for these qualities, sit in meditation and picture yourself acting with patience and kindness. See yourself responding calmly in challenging situations, smiling at others, and embodying compassion with everyone you meet. Picture every detail, the sound of your voice, the expression on your face, and the feelings of peace in your heart. By immersing yourself in this visualization, you're planting the seeds of patience and compassion in your mind, allowing them to grow naturally in your everyday life. This isn't merely daydreaming, it's a deep rewiring of the mind. Studies show that visualizing an action or quality can activate the same areas in the brain as physically performing it, which aligns with Buddhist teachings on bhavana or mental cultivation. Each time you practice seeing yourself with these qualities, You're strengthening the mental pathways that make these behaviors more accessible, more natural. Visualization gradually makes you feel as though compassion, patience, and resilience are already parts of who you are, which in turn makes it easier to act in line with them. Visualization also extends to our personal goals and aspirations. If you're aiming to achieve inner peace, visualize yourself moving through life's ups and downs with grace, staying centered regardless of what happens. Imagine letting go of your worries, being grounded in every situation. This mental imagery allows your mind to experience the peace you desire, making it feel familiar and reachable. Then, when you encounter challenges, you can return to this mental anchor, the image of yourself as resilient and at peace, helping you to embody this state in real-life situations. Visualization can help you see yourself in a new light. Instead of viewing yourself as someone who's striving or struggling, you start to internalize these qualities as an integral part of your identity. This shift in mindset is profound. When you believe that these qualities are already within you, you're more likely to act in alignment with them. Visualization bridges the gap between intention and action, making it possible to manifest positive qualities more naturally. In Buddhism, this practice isn't about chasing after goals or becoming better. It's about honoring the potential within each of us. Buddha taught that the mind can be trained to cultivate any quality, much like a garden can be tended to produce beautiful flowers. Visualization serves as a way to nurture this inner garden, choosing which qualities to cultivate and which unhelpful habits to release. Every time you visualize embodying peace, compassion, or patience, you take another step toward truly becoming that person. As you consistently visualize your goals and ideals, you're not just imagining a distant dream, you're nurturing a reality that already exists within you. This practice not only strengthens self-belief, but also eases doubt, allowing you to act with peace and confidence. Over time, visualization reveals that the best version of yourself is not far away. It's simply waiting to be fully awakened from within. The journey is transformative, creating harmony between your inner values and outward actions, showing that who you want to be is already within reach. 7. Cultivate self-compassion. In Buddhism, self-compassion is key to personal growth, inner peace, and resilience. The Buddha taught that to follow the path to enlightenment, we must treat ourselves with the same kindness and understanding we offer to others. Self-compassion means recognizing our shared humanity, accepting our struggles, and approaching ourselves with a gentle, forgiving attitude, especially in difficult times. This practice of loving kindness, or metta, begins with ourselves and then expands outward, helping us better support and understand others. For many, self-criticism becomes almost automatic. When we make mistakes or fall short, we tend to judge ourselves harshly, leading to feelings of guilt, unworthiness, or frustration. But in Buddhism, this kind of self-judgment is seen as unhelpful and even harmful, as it creates suffering without leading to growth. Self-compassion, on the other hand, encourages us to treat ourselves with kindness and patience, recognizing mistakes as a natural part of being human. Instead of punishing ourselves, we can learn from these moments and move forward with a clearer sense of purpose. One way to develop self-compassion is through metta meditation. This practice involves repeating phrases of kindness and goodwill, starting with yourself and then extending them to others. You might begin by silently saying phrases like, "May I be happy," "May I be at peace." This simple practice can reshape our inner dialogue, replacing harsh self-criticism with gentle, encouraging thoughts. Over time, this compassionate mindset builds resilience, making it easier to face life's challenges without being overwhelmed by negative self-talk. Self-compassion also means forgiving yourself for past mistakes and letting go of unrealistic expectations. Many of us carry the weight of past regrets, allowing them to hold us back. In Buddhist practice, forgiveness is seen as a path to self-liberation. When you forgive yourself, you free your mind from the grip of guilt and shame, creating space for growth and self-acceptance. Recognizing that you are human and therefore imperfect can be a powerful realization, helping you move through life with a lighter heart and a more open mind. In moments of stress or failure, self-compassion allows us to become our own source of support. Instead of seeking validation from others, it provides a steady inner foundation. When we make mistakes, we can view them as opportunities to learn and grow rather than as measures of our self-worth. This shift in perspective strengthens our emotional resilience, freeing us from the need for external approval or the fear of criticism. Another key aspect of self-compassion in Buddhism is understanding anatta, or non-self. This teaching reminds us that our identities are not fixed or defined by our mistakes or achievements. By seeing ourselves as ever-changing beings, we become less attached to self-criticism and less weighed down by past actions. We begin to understand that we are not trapped by past versions of ourselves. We have the ability to grow and evolve in every moment. Practicing self-compassion creates a ripple effect. When we treat ourselves with kindness and understanding, we become better able to extend that same compassion to others. This deepens our relationships and strengthens our sense of connection, making it easier to approach people with empathy and patience. By cultivating self-compassion, we become less reactive, more understanding, and more capable of offering love without judgment. Self-compassion serves as a foundation for inner peace and spiritual growth. When we treat ourselves with kindness, we create a mental space where healing and resilience can flourish. This mindset not only strengthens us, but also brings a sense of freedom and acceptance, allowing us to move through life with a lighter heart. Practicing self-compassion reminds us that being kind to ourselves is not a weakness, but a source of inner strength. It gives us the courage to face life's challenges with a compassionate and steady spirit. Over time, this practice helps us see that true peace comes from embracing ourselves with the same loving kindness we wish to share with the world. In Buddhism, the mind reflects what it is nourished with. Every thought, experience, and influence we allow shapes our inner world and, ultimately, our lives. By consciously choosing to fill our minds with positive, uplifting, and compassionate thoughts, we not only cultivate a life of peace and wisdom for ourselves, but also inspire those around us. Remember, every moment is an opportunity to decide what you feed your mind, so choose wisely. If these Buddhist principles resonate with you, like this video, share it, and subscribe for more insights. Start today and take the first step toward transforming your mind and life into a reflection of the peace, wisdom, and compassion you seek.